What's up, fam? Today I just wanted to show you a few builds to help you get through the quest where you actually have to use specific guns for the kills. Now this is going to range from the start of the Punisher and Tarkov Shooter series, all the way through to end kill quests such as Peacekeeping Mission and Shooter Born in Heaven. Now these are going to be mostly cost-effective builds that aren't going to hurt if you do die with them, so don't freak out. They're not going to be super expensive. Some are going to be low tier, mid tier, some will be meta builds, but there's a mixed variety. The only thing is they're super customizable, so they're very good platforms to start with. Just mix and match to obviously suit your playstyle, but also your budget. Just keep that in mind. Now these are the ones that I've used through each wipe. Let's jump straight into it. So we'll kick it off with the AK MSN. Now this is going to be used for Punisher Part 1 and 2. On Punisher Part 1 you need to kill 15 scavs with an AKM series gun on Shoreline, and then Part 2 you need to kill 12 scavs suppressed. I usually just run this gun for both tasks. It's super cheap, it's reliable and effective. Now for the next part of Punisher series, Part 3, AK-74U to kill 25 scavs on customs. This gun is really good when it's kitted. As a stock standard AK-74U, it's really hard to get through 25 scavs cleanly. Luckily there is a secret source that nobody knows about. I'll show you now. The SAG Short AK-545. Now nobody knows of this. You can actually utilize this gun for Punisher Part 3. Everyone thinks that it's only the AK-74U. This is actually a hidden tech. You can use this gun. So next is Punisher Part 4. You have to kill 10 scavs on woods with a 12 gauge shotgun. But what I like to do is run the MP153 silenced with a hammer scope or any sight of preference on top, because also you need to use it for Part 2 Part 1 to shoot scavs in the head. And then I also like to stack it with silent caliber. Once you get to the infamous Punisher Part 6, SVD builds. Now this gun, you can run it two ways. You can run it completely silent with a PRS Gen 3 to have minimal recoil, and then also you can run it loud, so no silencer, just chill anywhere around the map and just run into all the shots. So you can run it both ways. It does work. It's actually a really beast of a gun, but it is hard to control sometimes due to the recoil. So best to take your time, take your shots. Now one of my favorite shotguns to run, the Ultima version of the 155. MP155 Ultimate is next level. The ergo is insane. The actual playability around most areas where you have CQB, it's awesome. Enjoy a couple of clips of using it. Now moving on to Stirrup by Skier. Now this pistol quest is pretty fun. It's good to do early wipe, really tough mid wipe. Use any pistol you want. It's simple to do, just tap heads. Now one of the most fun quests to do, Tarkov Shooter. I'm just kidding. When you utilize the Mosin, what you want to do, especially for factory, is run the short version. So you run the carbine as opposed to the sniper variant. Reason being is that the barrel is way shorter. You're not going to get barrel stuff when trying to hit corners. Apart from that, I usually use the Mosin for Tarkov Shooter. You can use an SV98 because it does count as a bolty. Also with the VPO. Mosin is my preferred because the bullet availability, early wipe, LPS. If you do get SMB and PS from any of the bosses or stashes, it's super OP. Now when it's time to go blue, I like to keep it as cheap as possible. Peacekeeping mission or humanitarian supplies. You got to wear the blue UNTAR helmet and armored vest, which is class 3. I don't like wearing it because you can die pretty quick, so I like to run everything pretty cheap. I'd rather basic M4A1, like super stock standard with the sight and silencer. Otherwise, I will actually get an ADAR and I'll swap out the upper receiver with an M4A1 upper receiver to get a full automatic ADAR. Now, for everybody else who actually kills me and finds my gun, this is definitely going to come back on insurance. Like, nobody will pick this up because they think it's stock standard. Otherwise, if you're happy to rock a mid-tier build, then I've got a very, very good build at the end of this video, as pictured in the video as well. So in addition to all of these builds for these certain quests, you can also use the silenced versions of the ADAR M4A1 and the TX15 for Wet Job Part 1. Now Wet Job Part 1 requires you to kill 10 scavs on Shoreline with a suppressed weapon with the AR-15 platform or the TX15. Now these guns are really, really strong for this map. TX15 is my preferred option over the ADAR, and otherwise if you're going to be spending money on an ADAR, a kitted out ADAR is something next level. Like that thing has next to zero kick for its, for its long range bounce. Super dead on accurate, but the price point to building one of these is quite high. So if you can, get the TX15, it costs you about $250. If you're going to kit out a fully kitted ADAR, it's going to cost you. Now, Shooter Born in Heaven. RFB has been my go-to gun to utilize this swipe for shooters. Now, only reason why is because the 7.62 caliber, the bullet pen plus the damage on flesh is superior to 5.5A1, no doubt. I just feel that RFB does shoot really dead on for long ranges without having to recorrect a lot. Now, I do like using the AK-101, it's always been my staple gun. It's got one of the best muzzle velocities for a bullet of 5.5A1 caliber or 5.6A1. Only risk that you run with it is when you do shoot someone in the head, sometimes they can bounce it like off pure flesh. It's insane. Otherwise, MDR is a good alternative as well to use. Apart from these, if you're going to go for a sniper, use the SV98. It's got one of the best MOAs, which is your accuracy on sight. It's one of the best snipers all around to be utilizing for long range kills. And also, hot tip, make sure you got a rangefinder, whether it's a Raptor on your scope or it's an actual rangefinder hotkey to, you know, one of your number buttons. It's going to save you. Like, dial in your shots, make sure you're correct and accurate. You're going to win every single time. If you don't zero, you're losing. I'm going to show you a little tip to do with sighting in with a scope that you can't actually push the sight in value for the actual distance. So I'm using a Valday right now. The maximum sight in distance is 200. Now this rogue that I'm looking at right now, he's about 360-ish plus, 345. Okay, so I can't sight in that distance with this scope. I'm either going to have to try and guess the correction and try and aim up and shoot and hope to God I hit it. There is a way that you can do it. It's a bit nerdy. I don't know if it's super practical while you're in a fight, but if you're chilling out, taking long range snipes, you've got the time to do this. So get yourself your calculator, whether it's on your phone or it's on your actual computer. What you want to do, we've got a maximum sighting range of 200 for our scope. We're going to divide that by, let's say, 345, which is the distance. It's going to give us a correction of 0.57. Now, on our mill, every dot on this particular scope represents 0.5. So if we go to the first dot, that's 0.5. We go to the other dot, that's 1, 1.5, so on and so forth, you know, as you climb. So we've got a correction of 0.57. It's pretty much first dot and a tad above. So right about here. Easy way to correct if you got the time. So guys, I hope this guide helped you in any way, shape or form. Let me know in the comments what gun you're planning to use for your quest, and also what your favorite part of this guide was. If you like the content, give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next video as well. See you later.